Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 281 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin calmly said, "Fourth sister, please enter." The breathing outside the pavilion was heavy, and after a long time, the door was pushed open. A beautiful woman in purple walked in, biting her lower lip. Although this woman's appearance was not as stunning as Li Mai, she was still beautiful. However, there were traces of the passage of time on her face, making her feel a bit aged. After she entered the room, she silently sat in a chair. She didn't look at Wang Lin, her empty eyes silently looked at the empty space before her. The room was completely silent as Wang Lin closed his eyes and continued to cultivate. However, he soon felt a faint divine sense that stretched out from between the woman's eyebrows. As his divine sense spread out, it spread toward Wang Lin. It wasn't fast, it eased its way over like it was very hesitant. As the divine sense approached, Wang Lin's eyes opened and a ray of light shined out of them. The divine sense trembled and wanted to retreat, but it was instantly frozen in the air. The face of the woman in purple was deathly pale. She could feel that if her divine sense moved at all, Wang Lin would instantly devour it. Wang Lin stared at the woman in purple and loosened his lock on her divine sense, allowing her divine sense to return to her body. She couldn't hide anything before Wang Lin. There were 6 seals on her body, sealing her cultivation. What she revealed to the outside was only late-stage soul transformation. If it was the Wang Lin back then, he wouldn't be able to see through this. However, now he only needed one gaze to completely see through the woman in purple. Wang Lin frowned slightly and said, "What does fourth sister want?" The woman in purple opened her mouth as if she wanted to say something, but in the end she remained silent. "Since fourth sister doesn't have anything, then I won't be sending you off." With that, Wang Lin waved his sleeve. A gentle breeze appeared, causing the woman's body to tremble and step rapidly toward the door. Just as she arrived at the door, her eyes revealed a decisive gaze and she whispered, "Wang Lin, now that you have reached the second step, aren't you afraid of the crisis that might befall you in the Heavenly Fate Sect?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up and his right hand reached out. He pulled the woman in purple back in and calmly said, "What does senior sister mean?" The woman in purple clenched teeth as she looked up at Wang Lin and softly said, "If you hadn't fled back then, it's likely you would have gone inexplicably missing over the past few hundred years. I presume you already noticed that within the Heavenly Fate Sect, none of the thousands of inner and outer disciples and even us direct disciples, no one's cultivation has reached the illusionary yin stage." Wang Lin's expression was calm as he silently looked at the woman in purple. When someone breaks through the late stage of ascendant and reaches the illusionary yin stage, that person will mysteriously disappear within a year. This matter is taboo within the Heavenly Fate Sect. Back then, your cultivation level wasn't high enough to know this, and you presumably still don't know. Wang Lin's expression still didn't change at all. The woman in purple looked at Wang Lin. After she finished speaking, she found that Wang Lin's expression still hadn't changed. Her heart couldn't help but sink, and she clenched her teeth. "I know you may not believe me, but I, Zhao Xinmeng, joined the sect at the age of 7 and cultivated for 1,000 years. Without waiting for Zhao Xinmeng, Wang Lin shook his head and said, "Are you not afraid of teacher finding out that you're speaking about this here? Every day at 5 a.m., Master goes into closed-door cultivation. Unless something major has occurred, he won't come out. Master has had this habit for thousands of years." Zhao Xinmeng seemed a bit hasty. "Wang Lin, everything I say is true." Wang Lin pondered a bit and looked at Zhao Xinmeng. Then he said, "This is why you have 6 seals inside your body." Zhao Xinmeng wasn't shocked by Wang Lin seeing through her. She revealed a trace of bitterness. "What else can I do beside this? A piece of my soul is in Master's hands, so I simply can't leave. Even if I were to leave, Master would only need but a thought for me to be completely destroyed. There are many people who seal their cultivation like me. Among them, the Red Division Sun Hong has the highest cultivation level. She has 11 seals on her body, forcing herself to stay at the mid-stage of Ascendant. She even interfered with her own comprehension so that it won't match her real cultivation level. If she were to release the seals, she could quickly reach the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. There is also the Red Division's Lu Hai. If he released his seal, his cultivation level would immediately become peak corporeal yang. These are only people I know, but I believe there are those that have hidden themselves very well among the 7 divisions. However, no matter how much our cultivation advances, we don't dare to open the seals. Even if we reveal our cultivation after it has been opened, we will mysteriously disappear within a year. If we were seriously injured and our cultivation level fell, those who didn't hide their cultivation would be fine, but those of us who hid our cultivation level would still disappear. From my understanding, Master has been cultivating for tens of thousands of years and has had countless disciples. However, none of them have ever appeared or even been heard of. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he looked at Zhao Xinmeng. The 6 seals on this woman were very strange. If they were not face-to-face like this, they would have been easy to miss. However, Wang Lin believed that before the All-Seer, this kind of method was useless. Master didn't stop us from sealing our cultivation, he just ignored us. Fear filled Zhao Xinmeng's face. This was something she didn't understand, and neither did all the disciples who hid their cultivation levels. No matter how much we hide, Master won't acknowledge it, as if he really doesn't know. However, if the seals open, we will be doomed. 500 years ago, there was a disciple of the Orange Division whose seal had reached its limit. His seals were opened by force, and he disappeared the next day. It's impossible to escape. Even if we hide our cultivation, there is a limit. I can't afford to continue living such a life. And in the past 100 years, my seal has begun to loosen and I'm starting to lose control. Recently, this has been even more serious. Save me. Wang Lin, save me. I'll do whatever you want as long as you save me. Tears streamed down Zhao Xinmeng's eyes as she looked at Wang Lin, and her voice became hoarse. Did you know that although you only returned yesterday, you have gathered the attention of everyone within the Heavenly Fate sect who hid their cultivation? They must all be wondering when you will disappear. Zhao Xinmeng bit her lower lip. She couldn't talk to anyone about this, as this was considered an absolute taboo in the Heavenly Fate sect. She was already in despair before this. The seal on her body loosened more each day, and before long, the seal was going to collapse. The fear of her cultivation revealing itself terrified her. Rumor has it that all cultivators whose cultivation level went past Ascendant were devoured by Master. Wang Lin, I won't ask you to retrieve my soul, only that you help me reinforce the seal so that my cultivation will forever stay at the late of soul transformation. Zhao Xinmeng stood up and was about to bow to Wang Lin. Wang Lin raised his right hand and a gentle force appeared, causing Zhao Xinmeng to stand up straight. He pondered for a bit and was about to speak when he suddenly looked outside the pavilion. Zhao Xinmeng was startled, and a moment later, she also detected something. After pondering for a bit, for some reason her face blushed and she arrived next to Wang Lin in a flash. After taking off her shoes, she got onto Wang Lin's bed and formed a seal to hide herself. Wang Lin frowned. At this moment, light footsteps came from outside the pavilion. 7th Junior Brother, Bai Wei requests a visit. Bai Wei's feminine voice slowly drifted into the room. Wang Lin had no bad feelings toward Bai Wei. If not for Bai Wei secretly reminding him back then, Wang Lin wouldn't have such a deep understanding of the All-Seer. Senior Brother Bai, please enter. Wang Lin's voice was calm. However, there were faint scent of body fragrance that entered his nose that made him uncomfortable. The door opened. Bai Wei still had that beautiful appearance, but now he looked a bit frail. Inside the room, he looked at Wang Lin and let out a sigh. Still the same as before. 7th Brother, you haven't changed at all from back then. Brother Bai is the same. We haven't seen each other in hundreds of years, but it is as if I just saw you yesterday. Wang Lin smiled. Bai Wei's eyes were like water as he looked at Wang Lin and softly said, 7th Brother is using the wrong term. I'm no longer Senior Brother Bai, but Junior Sister Bai. Wang Lin's expression became strange and he couldn't help but wryly smile. Bai Wei saw Wang Lin's expression and smiled. His eyes shined, revealing a peerless look, and he smiled. Why is it so difficult to call me junior sister Bai? I have always been a woman. Wang Lin felt quite embarrassed. Even after 1,000 years of cultivation and life experience, he still didn't know what to do. He could only let out a dry cough and say, I wonder what matter senior brother Bai came here for. Bai Wei's eyebrows lifted and he looked at Wang Lin with his water-like eyes. Even with Wang Lin's early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation and ancient god body, he was almost unable to bear this gaze. He wryly smiled and said, Bai? Junior sister Bai, what did you come here for? Bai Wei's expression released and she whispered, Wang Lin, you shouldn't have come back. It's not easy to say it here, but are you free? On planet Chen there is a market called the Ghost Eye. If you are free, then I have something to inform you on the way there. Wang Lin pondered. He hadn't been back for a long, so it was a good idea to hear from Bai Wei what had happened in the hundreds of years that passed. Also, his relationship with Bai Wei was quite good, so there was no reason to refuse. After observing Bai Wei, he found no seals. Bai Wei's cultivation was truly at the mid-stage of soul transformation. Okay, we will meet below Mount Purple at noon today. Bai Wei smiled at Wang Lin, expectation filling his phoenix eyes, and he left. Wang Lin wryly smiled. He felt a headache toward this Bai Wei. At this moment, a ripple appeared from his bag and Shuliqua's voice echoed in his mind. Top quality. Top quality. Master, this is top quality. I, Shuliqua, have met countless people, but I have never met someone this graceful. Especially her gaze when she left, it made even Grandpa Shu's bones soft. Master, if you don't like it, then I do. When I saw her, it reminded me of my G1. Wang Lin ignored Shuliqua's words and cut off his voice. At this moment, a chuckle came from Wang Lin's side. Zhao Xinmeng appeared and her gaze toward Wang Lin was a bit different. Wang Lin frowned as he got up and sat down on the chair. He said, Fourth senior sister, I'll consider your matter. Zhao Xinmeng looked at Wang Lin, and after pondering for a bit, she softly said, although my cultivation level isn't high, I have retained my virginity throughout my 1,000 years of cultivation. If you can strengthen my seal, I can give you my 1,000-year origin yin. Zhao Xinmeng's face turned red as she faced Wang Lin. She opened up her sleeve, revealing a small red dot. She bit her lower lip and put down her sleeve before looking at Wang Lin and leaving. This is my last hope. If he can battle Ling Qianhu, his cultivation can't merely be at the Nirvana Scryer stage, he is likely at the Nirvana Cleanser stage. If he helps me, he must be able to suppress the seal completely. Zhao Xinmeng let out a sigh and her figure disappeared over the horizon. If I ask for others for help, with Master there, I fear no one would dare to help. Wang Lin sat inside the room and pondered. Helping Zhao Xinmeng was easy, but doing this would not please the All-Seer. If what Zhao Xinmeng said was true, then there must be a profound meaning to Master's indifference. Presumably. He is also conflicted on this in his mind. While pondering, the celestial sword Shuligua was in began to become restless and the fluctuations from his bag disturbed his thoughts. Wang Lin frowned and slapped his bag of holding. The celestial sword immediately flew out and a large amount of black fog appeared. The black fog quickly condensed to reveal Shuligua's figure. Shuligua's eyes shined. After he appeared, he inhaled deeply in the spot where Bai Wei stood earlier. His face was filled with an intoxicated look and he muttered, top quality. Really top quality. Compared to her, even the little girl in the demon spirit land is nothing. If I can, Shuligua revealed a nasty smile. Wang Lin coldly looked at Shuligua. Shuligua trembled and he felt a cold intent spread across his body. This coldness penetrated his soul, which made him sober, and he began to secretly complain. Damn it, why did this fiend's cultivation level go up again? There is no justice. Although I still feared him before, my soul didn't tremble from muster gaze from this damn fiend. It felt as if this fiend could cause Grandpa Shu to die with just a thought. Shuligua's expression changed, but he immediately revealed a flattering expression. Master is mighty. Your cultivation level has increased once more. Master is really gifted by the heavens. Without waiting for Shuligwa to finish speaking, Wang Lin interrupted him and calmly said, "What were you so anxious to come out for?" Although his voice was calm, his eyes were cold. From Wang Lin's view, Shuligwa needed to be beaten down occasionally, otherwise, Shuligwa would get too unruly. This devil was something he had created, and perhaps only he understood this devil the most. Before Shuligwa was refined into a devil, he had a lot of resentment, and his personality intensified after being refined into a devil. He knew that if Shuligwa returned to his true form, the only way to control Shuligwa was to always be stronger than him. Back in the Nether Beast, the old man thought Shuligwa was a loyal person, but in reality, he had no loyalty at all. At most it was a habit formed by being under Wang Lin's control for almost 1,000 years. Unyielding thoughts would occasionally appear in Shuligwa's heart. Wang Lin knew of this well. Not good. This devil fiend is going to punish me today. Shuligwa was nervous as he licked his lips and flattered, "Master, the reason Little Shu came out is to congratulate Master's increase in cultivation. Ever since I brilliantly decided to follow Master's cultivation level has increased every time I come out. After a long time, this little one thought that if he comes out more often, maybe Master's cultivation level will become even higher." Shuligwa spoke. He carefully looked at Wang Lin, ready to change his words at any time. Wang Lin frowned but revealed a smile. He looked at Shuligwa and said, "Since you have the heart, then don't go back inside the celestial sword for now. Stay with me and properly comprehend the sword intent you inherited." Shuligwa immediately patted his chest and said, "Master, rest assured, Little Shu will not disgrace you and will properly cultivate." Although Shuligwa said this, he secretly laughed. "It is still your Grandpa Shu who is smarter and has quicker reactions. Just a few sweet words and even this fiend will be beaten. No matter how high your cultivation level is, you can't beat your Grandpa Shu's spell." Wang Lin no longer paid any attention to Shuligwa. He sat down and began to cultivate. Shuligwa was like a ghost that floated around in the room. Then he became bored and couldn't help but think of Bai Wei's peerless beauty. He first carefully looked at Wang Lin before he sniffed and revealed an intoxicated expression. Beauty, a real beauty. If she was a woman, she wouldn't be that special. Grandpa Shu has met a lot of women, but her for be a man. Shuligwa's mind trembled and his heart felt itchy. He wanted to go find Bai Wei right now to talk heart to heart. His mind was filled with fantasies, and he felt restless. However, thinking about how Wang Lin was still nearby, he couldn't help but sigh. When Grandpa Shu followed the giant demon clan ancestor, the ancestor was so good to me. He gave me my G. Those days were filled with color. Unfortunately, after returning to this fiend, I'm stored away in the bag all day. The good life is so far away. Thinking about this, Shuligwa felt anger in his heart. When my cultivation is strong enough one day, I must get back at this fiend. At most I'll just fight to the death. Just as he was thinking, he suddenly saw Wang Lin's eyelids move. He immediately revealing a flattering smile. However, after waiting for a long time, Wang Lin's eyes wouldn't open. Shuligwa inwardly cursed, he really doesn't know how to enjoy life. If I had someone so devoted to me, I would have already jumped on them, not to mention that beauty. Shuligwa let out a sigh. He knew that he wasn't powerful enough. After thinking for a long time, he sat down and began comprehend that ancient sword intent inheritance. Your Grandpa Shu has to work hard, otherwise, the gap between me and the fiend will only grow wider. Then I will never be able to escape this fiend's clutches and escape this abyss of misery. After Shuligwa began to cultivate, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His eyes shined brightly before he closed his eyes and ignored Shuligwa. However, Wang Lin had made up his mind to refine this devil once more. Time quickly passed, and in the blink of an eye, it was noon. The sun outside the pavilion was bright and seemed to dispel all darkness. The sky was clear and blue, it would cause anyone's heart to calm down. Wang Lin opened his eyes and his body moved. The door opened on its own and he walked out. Shuligwa got up to follow. His eyes looked around as he suppressed the excitement in his heart. I'm about to see that beauty. Wang Lin stepped through the air and headed toward the bottom of Mount Purple. In the distance, he could see figures moving among the 7 mountains. This revealed the scene of a big sect. There was chanting coming from the distance. It was the lower-level disciples of the Heavenly Fate sect practicing their spell proficiency. Dense spiritual energy filled the Heavenly Fate sect. However, it was noon, so the spiritual energy contained yang fire and was not fit for cultivation. There was no magnificent fluctuations of spiritual energy like there was during dawn or dusk. The purple division had the lowest status among the 7 divisions. Even the 7 direct disciple lineup wasn't complete, including Wang Lin. There were only 5. As a result, there were fewer ordinary disciples on Mount Purple. This made the huge mountain quite bleak. It was sparsely populated. As he walked down from the mountain, he saw no one. Shuligua followed behind Wang Lin, and the sunlight that landed on him didn't give him any discomfort. In fact, it felt pleasant, especially with the thought of how he would meet the beauty soon. Shuligua's heart itched, and he only hated Wang Lin for being too slow. Looking at Wang Lin's shadow, Shuligua thought, this fiend has cultivated for so many years and has had no fun in his life, but even this Grandpa Shu has to admire his increase in cultivation levels. That little core formation cultivator has become a powerhouse. Just thinking about this, Shuligua quickly dispelled this idea and thought, I can't become like him. What joy is there in his life? It can be said that this fiend's cultivation was built by danger and slaughter. I, Shuligua, am not suited for this. It is comfortable to hold beauties. If I were like him, I would definitely be destroyed sooner or later. I don't know when this fiend will have bad luck and be killed. No, if he is killed, my fate won't be good either. Perhaps my mind will be erased to be used as an ordinary sword spirit. While Shuligua was thinking about random thing, Wang Lin had arrived at the bottom of the mountain. There was a pavilion at the bottom of the mountain. There was a purple figure standing inside the pavilion, and from afar they gave off a graceful feeling. However, the figure was feminine and revealed a hint of weakness. At this moment, a gentle breeze blew out and lifted the purple figure's hair. This person lifted their hair with their jade-like hand, then they turned around and smiled at Wang Lin. If one didn't know the details, then this person was far more beautiful than most women. Bai Wei's eyes lit up and he smiled. Senior brother Wang indeed kept his promise. Although Wang Lin's expression was neutral, Shuligua stared at Bai Wei from behind him. If not for Wang Lin being here, then no matter what, he would have jumped at Bai Wei. What is this? Bai Wei's gaze looked at Shuligua. Shuligua's body was filled with black mist, and at this moment, this black mist contracted, revealing his appearance when he was a cultivator. His eyes revealed an evil glare, but his expression was serious. Just as he was about to speak, he heard a cold snort that frightened him to immediately reveal a flattering expression. The rapid change startled Bai Wei. This is my treasure spirit. Brother Bai, where is the market you were talking about? Please lead the way. Wang Lin didn't make much of an introduction. With Wang Lin here, even though Shuligua's heart itched, he didn't dare to reveal too much. He could only look helplessly at Bai Wei and curse in his mind. This damn fiend Wang Lin. He's not going to eat him himself, and he also won't let Grandpa Shu eat. There no is justice, no justice. Bai Wei's eyebrows wrinkled and he said, Senior brother Wang. Wang Lin immediately became embarrassed. It was very rare for him to become embarrassed, and now Bai Wei had done it twice. While he was embarrassed, Shuligua's eyes lit up and he stared at Bai Wei. He thought to himself, heaven has shined upon me, Shuligua, to meet the love of my life. I can't stand it. Black smoke appeared around Shuligua and he turned into a big mouth that looked like it was going to devour Bai Wei. At this moment, every thought of Wang Lin was all thrown away by his mind. He could only see Bai Wei's smile. As he rushed out, a cold light flashed in Wang Lin's eyes and his hand penetrated the black mist and directly grabbed Shuligua's soul. Shuligua suddenly around and just revealed a fierce expression at Wang Lin when Wang Lin grabbed him. Then Shuligua quickly revealed a flattering expression and repeated, Master, Master, I know was wrong. I was wrong. Wang Lin grabbed Shuligua and said, Bai. Junior sister Bai, please lead the way. Bai Wei also saw some clue and looked at Shuligua with great interest. This gaze made Shuligua excited. Bai Wei smiled as he slapped his bag of holding and a flying sword appeared. He stood on the sword and flew off into the distance. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he took a step and caught up to the sword light. Although this Bai Wei was feminine before, it was not this extreme. His body is now filled with yin aura and even his temperament has changed greatly. Moving forward, Wang Lin could feel someone secretly following him. Without even turning around, he knew this person was Zhao Xinmeng. Due to the yin energy inside Bai Wei's body, not only did his mind change, his behavior has also become quite feminine. If he was born like this, it would be fine, but it was obviously not this extreme back then. While they flew, Wang Lin's light shined faintly as he looked at Bai Wei. He always felt like there was something wrong with Bai Wei, but he couldn't find the exact problem. However, 1,000 years of cultivation allowed him some special sense. Although he was not as all-seeing as the all-seer, he could still feel a trace of events that were yet to occur. Bai Wei apparently didn't notice Wang Lin's divine sense sweeping past him and continued to smile and talk with Wang Lin. You weren't here for long before. In a few months, the weather on planet Tianyun will change. The abrupt change between overcast and sunny is regarded as a unique scenery of planet Tianyun. During these hundreds of years, the heavenly fate sect has been calm and not much has happened. If anything did happen, it's that a white tree someone planted in the back mountain and claimed it would never flowered. However, the color of the flowers weren't white but black. It only lasted 3 breaths of time before it turned to dust. It surprised quite a few people that time. I was there as well. I thought it would have been great if I could have saved a flower. There is nothing suspicious, Wang Lin frowned, but that slight feeling was nagging in his heart. His expression remained neutral as he coped with Bai Wei's conversation. After you left, Master spent most of his time in closed-door cultivation and rarely came out. As Bai Wei smiled, he told Wang Lin every single incident that happened in the Heavenly Fate sect. At the start, Wang Lin was seriously listening, but soon he frowned. Nothing Bai Wei talked about was great, they were all trivial things that had no meaning. Bai Wei smiled. There is also Ghost Eye City. That city became famous many years ago after successfully auctioning a complete celestial spell. Every time it opens, it attracts a large amount of cultivators. It is open for 1 month, and aside from the auction house, people are free to trade. However, Ghost Eye City wasn't very big and the amount of residences are limited. If we go late, I'm afraid we'll have to camp. Wang Lin pondered a bit and allowed Bai Wei to talk while leading the way, but he pondered in his heart. After 15 minutes, Wang Lin suddenly said, Junior Sister Bai, what cultivation method do you cultivate? Bai Wei was startled and his expression changed. He stopped before retreating a few steps while starting at Wang Lin and saying, Does Brother Wang disdain me? If you find me annoying, then I'll leave and never bother you again. Wang Lin was shocked. He only asked what his cultivation method was, but he didn't expect Bai Wei to change so greatly. Wang Lin slowly said, Brother Bai misunderstands, I'm just casually asking. Bai Wei bit his lower lip and pondered for a moment. He then looked at Wang Lin with a complex look and said, The cultivation method I cultivate is called Celestial Double Desire Art. After speaking, Bai Wei became silent and flew north. Celestial Double Desire Art. Wang Lin's eyes shined as he looked at Bai Wei's figure. His eyes narrowed, and he could clearly see the rich yin energy inside Bai Wei suddenly accelerate. It was moving very quickly through Bai Wei's meridians and formed a mark. This mark was formed by the movement of yin energy through Bai Wei's meridians. Before, the yin energy inside Bai Wei was too slow for Wang Lin to notice. However, he was able to see it now, but the mark only appeared for a moment before disappearing. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he remembered that mark. He asked no more questions and followed Bai Wei. At dusk, he saw a circular city in the distance. This city was like a circle that fell on the earth and was guarded by cultivators. Before they got close, Wang Lin felt fluctuations of restriction surrounding the city. Rays of sword energy would occasionally drop down from the horizon. Sometimes it would be one and sometimes it would be many. They descended outside the city and showed their invitations before entering. Wang Lin knew it was best not to spread out his divine sense in an unfamiliar place, or else it could cause misunderstandings. He was naturally cautious, and although his cultivation level had increased, his caution hadn't reduced. After all, caution was needed to survive in the cultivation world. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin's divine sense spread out toward the city. He wasn't rash in the way he spread his divine sense, it was more like a gentle breath. He didn't try to find the secrets in the city but focused on the restriction fluctuations. He was acting like he had arrived before a strange door. Instead of violently breaking into the door, he was opening the door and taking a quick look inside. Although this was impolite, it was a common behavior in the cultivation world. Unless one was very tyrannical, this generally wouldn't cause any misunderstandings. The restriction over the city had no objection toward Wang Lin at all. With Wang Lin's cultivation and enlightenment in restriction, the restriction over the city didn't notice his divine sense at all. However, just as Wang Lin's divine sense went through the restriction and was about to return after sweeping the city, 3 divine senses that were well hidden erupted. They were like 3 dragons that charged at Wang Lin's divine sense. What cultivator came to my Ghost Eye City? I'm one of the 3 Chen brothers, Master Yi Chen. An ancient voice came out from the divine sense when it got close to Wang Lin's divine sense. At the same time, the illusionary dragon formed by the 3 divine senses rotated to form a storm. They were about to trap Wang Lin's divine sense to prevent it from leaving. 2 of the 3 divine senses were at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. The divine sense of Master Yi Chen was at the mid-stage of Nirvana Scrya. The combination of their divine senses made Wang Lin unable to escape immediately. Wang Lin's spells were all within his body, and his divine sense hadn't reached the mid-stage of Nirvana Scrya yet, so he was no match for the 3 of them with his divine sense. I'm the Heavenly Fate Sect's Wang Lin. It is my hope I hope you'll forgive me. Wang Lin was the first to be impolite, so he wasn't angry. Your divine sense was reckless and was trapped by me, but you want me to forgive you? What kind of reasoning is that? Today, the 3 of us won't make it hard on you. Personally come to admit your mistake and then immediately leave. If you dare to step into Ghost Eye City again, don't blame us for not being kind. Next to Master Yi Chen, a gloomy divine sense appeared. Wang Lin and Bai Wei stood outside the city, waiting in line to enter. As for Wang Lin's conversion with the 3, unless one's cultivation was very high, they wouldn't notice anything. Bai Wei was obviously not aware of anything, but Wang Lin frowned. I hope fellow cultivator doesn't mind, but the 3 of us are in charge of Ghost Eye City's security, so we must be cautious. If fellow cultivator doesn't agree, then don't blame me for destroying this divine sense. Master Yi Chen sent out a sigh. He knew doing this was a bit too much. After all, this person hadn't gone out of bounds and it was just a natural sweep. The 3 Chen brothers had all done this before. Except right now, they were hired by Ghost Eye City, so they had to be cautious. Also, he was a bit unhappy right now. Basically all the Nirvana Scrya old monsters on the planet understood that the 3 of them were responsible for the security of Ghost Eye City. Most of them wouldn't probe with their divine senses as a sign of respect to the 3 of them. The person before him obviously wasn't showing them any respect. What use was it for him to admit to his mistake after realizing the situation was bad? If this person refuses to admit his mistake and comes to fight the 3 of us, I can respect him as an equal. However, it is obvious he saw how strong we 3 are and became timid. Moreover, if we don't severely punish this person, we will not have a day of peace before the auction begins. In order to scare of others that dare to observe with their divine senses, we must be more severe. I'll give you 3 seconds to consider. Master Yi Chen gently spread out his message. It would be too easy for the 3 of them to take care of an early-stage Nirvana Scrya cultivator. Even if this person was really from the Heavenly Fate Sect, the All-Seer wouldn't lower himself to deal with them. Moreover, the 3 of them didn't kill. After all, the 3 of them had given this person a chance, so even if they destroyed his divine sense, no one would say anything. If it was someone from the Da Lu Sword Sect, Master Yi Chen wouldn't think this. After all, Sword Saint Ling Chen Hu was famous for protecting his own. 3 breaths of time passed by in an instant. Master Yi Chen let out a cold snort and the divine sense dragon formed by the 3 of them let out a roar at Wang Lin's trapped divine sense. They were about to destroy Wang Lin's trapped divine sense. The 3 of you have gone too far. Wang Lin didn't pay attention to Bai Wei or Shuligua. He frowned and then disappeared with a step. Ghost Eye City's restriction couldn't even stop Wang Lin's divine sense, much less his physical body. At the moment Wang Lin disappeared, the restriction only flashed 3 times before it completely collapsed. The moment the restriction collapsed, Wang Lin's figure appeared above Ghost Eye City. His speed was beyond imagination. The moment Wang Lin appeared, he directly grabbed a divine sense dragon. The dragon wanted to struggle, but it was no use. Wang Lin flung the dragon backward and there was a loud rumble as the divine sense dragon collapsed. Inside Ghost Eye City, there was a very beautiful building. Inside the 3rd room from the east sat an old man. This old man wore a green robe and had a dignified expression. However, at this moment, his eyes opened, he coughed out blood, and his expression changed greatly. Nirvana cleanser old monster. The old man's body flickered and disappeared. This video will end here.